Hi, my name is Randy Agert, and this is for the class Bad Words and Taboo Terms. This is the 9th and final in a series of video lectures on the taxonomy of taboo words. We've gone over the 7 classes of taboo words. Now we're going to step back and talk about the taxonomy a bit. And I want to be cautious because there are certain hazards associated with developing a taxonomy. One is that, once you have it developed, then there's a temptation to try to force things into the different classes and try to make them fit. And so I want to be aware of that we may find that this taxonomy needs to be modified. And I don't see that as being a problem. We may find that these categories, that there's too few classes, that we need to add classes as we investigate more languages. So, for example, one that I can think of is that in addition to certain animal terms being forbidden in some languages, there are also plant terms that are taboo. And so perhaps we need to expand the class of faunality and call it florality and faunality, or we need to have a separate class of florality. Or perhaps we need to modify it and say that certain of these classes can be combined together, and we can have fewer of them. I'm open to that as well. The idea is that this is sort of a first guess of what we're going to find in the world's languages. This makes it easier. The purpose of having a tool like this is then when we're looking at the world's languages, we can sort of make predictions about what sorts of words are going to be taboo, and then we can see whether those expectations are met, whether our hypotheses or predictions are met. And if we find that there are taboo words that require a new class, we'll do that. Another thing that we need to be careful about is that this taxonomy is not like species in biology, where it's categorical. You either belong to a species, one particular species, or you don't belong to that species. And you don't get the overlap between species. So it belongs to, one species or another. What we've found is there's a lot of overlap between these classes. So terms that belong to scatology also often belong to obscenity. And we found that slurs take words from all of these different classes in order to create slurs. Another thing that we found was that, for example, morphology and apellity often go hand in hand, that they are kind of linked together. So again, I don't see that as being a problem for this taxonomy. It's just something that we have to recognize, that there will be overlap between the classes. And one that I can think of that has overlap all over the place is the word cock, which started as an animal term, so we could say that it's faunality, but of course it's also used in evacuation, so then it would be scatology. But cock is also something that's used in sex, so it would be obscenity, and then it's also something that you can derogatorily call somebody, and so it's a slur. So there it's going to overlap in all sorts of different classes. That's okay. That's fine. We just need to recognize that that's the case with this particular taxonomy. And we need to recognize that this is not set in stone. This is just a way of organizing our approach, our research, so that we can kind of see how words are related to behavioral taboos, and also to see how languages are related in terms of, what are likely to be taboo words from one language to another.